Welcome to the Word of Encouragement here on this Thursday. And today I'd like to look at one of my favorite chapters. When I was younger, God worked through Romans chapter 12, verses 1 and 2 in a very definite way in my life as I surrendered to the Lord. My dad had an entire series on just those two verses. And oh, how that affected me. And there you have the fact that we're beseeched by God to be a living sacrifice, and our lives need to be transformed, and our minds need to be renewed. And then you have the outflow of that in chapter 12. Many practical truths that help us in our lives, from the matter of our giftings to just different responses that show whether we're growing in the Lord or we are bound by self. And we get down to verse 12 of chapter 12 of Romans, and it says, rejoicing in hope, patient in tribulation, continuing instant in prayer. Those three principles are such a blessing. They really do tie together. Rejoicing in hope. Hope is a confident expectation that God is going to work. Now, when we understand a truth in God's Word, we then need to put our faith in that truth. Faith cometh by hearing, and hearing by the word, that specific truth of God. We put our faith in there, and that's when God begins to work. And as we continue to believe God, we begin to experience God's grace and deliverance, and that truth becomes more and more alive to us, and we come into faith by sight. We start with faith without sight. We're just believing God's word. But then we develop faith with sight, and we have this deep experience, as Romans chapter 5, verses 1 to 5 talks about, that brings us to this great confident expectation. And we need to rejoice. We know this is true. You know, it's wonderful in a world where people don't really know what to do, to have it really clear. Lots of things you come to real confidence in. You know Christ is coming. You know God is working. You know that giving your life to Him works. You understand biblical principles for families will bring great blessing. And those areas of confidence should bring great joy to us. And then to be patient, have enduring faith when we're tried in the decisions that we make of faith. We will have the trial of our faith. But we need to be patient. Stay enduring in your trust in the Lord. This is so key during times of problems. Keep on believing God. Because what will happen is, whatever it is that you're having to trust the Lord in through a trial, God will meet with you. And though you don't see yet what God's going to do, you already are experiencing God. And my friend, when you meet with God, everything's okay. Believe me. It is a joy to know God's going to do it. And then finally, continuing instant in prayer. That's the key, to have that wonderful confident expectation and rejoice in it, to have enduring faith during tribulation, that time with the Lord, staying instant in prayer, staying in that fellowship with Him will put all of that together. That's the renewed mind. That's the transformed life. So today, let's rejoice. God's going to do it. Let's ask God to build our experience so that we can have that confidence. And let's endure when the trials come, because we know that God is going to bless and He will fulfill His word. It's exciting to be a Christian, and we need to joy in the great privilege of trusting Him.